Welcome to Talladega Super Speedway for the first round of the first race, I should say, in the second round of playoffs in the Blown Piston Racing League. We have concluded the top 16 drivers after last week's race in Richmond. We have 8 drivers left in the run for the championship in the playoff system. And those 8 drivers are in your screen there right now. Andrew Mraz leading the pack with Mike Perry close behind. Andrew Moore Jr. is third. Marshall Stanley is fourth. Casey Duncan is sharing that fourth spot with Stanley, and then also Matt Miller. And then it's Randy Perdue and Jason Branch. These 8 drivers are what we are referring to as the Elite 8. So tonight is Talladega, a super speedway, 55 laps. Next week will be Phoenix in Arizona, and after those 2 races, we are going to split the whole group in half. Once again, the best 4 of those 8 will be going to the final in Las Vegas to fight for the championship. So, what is important for these guys? Points, obviously, but if they can't score the points and they score 1 win, they will be locked into the final. So any driver tonight that wins the race will be locked into the Las Vegas final in the Final 4. Then obviously the same thing is true next week in Phoenix, and those who do not win will be counted on points and will be qualifying for the Final 4 on points for that final shootout in Las Vegas. So, that is the stage for tonight. And, whoops, wrong button. We have a big field here tonight. We have 30 cars that have entered the race. We haven't seen all these drivers on track in the practice session, but we've seen quite a few of them out there, and a lot of what they have been doing is trying to figure out how they can best work together, nose to tail. Talladega Superspeedway is all about top speed, is all about being in the draft and finding a buddy to work with to stay on top speed, to stay in the draft, and make sure you don't lose out. If the difference between running together and drafting each other and running alone can be up to 10 miles an hour in top speed. So that's not going to work if you're losing out on the draft. We're going to be doing 55 laps here tonight. The first stage will end at lap 15. The second stage will end at lap 30. There is some extra points to pick up there for those who are not in the Elite 8. As usual, we are not running 100% fuel capacity. We are running 60% fuel capacity in this series, and that'll give us a fuel window for probably 17 to 19 laps, is what I've been told. I obviously haven't tried it myself. The drivers have unlimited tires at their disposal. They have 1 fast repair, meaning the fast repair, if they collect damage from scraping the wall or bumping other cars or whatnot, they have 1 fast repair that will instantly repair all that stuff. The fast repair does not influence the changing of tires and the fueling of the car, so that takes its normal time. The pit lane speed limit is 55 miles an hour. We are running a fixed setup, meaning that the drivers are all in the exact same machinery. The only thing they can play with is the brake bias and the steering ratio, and those are 2 things that are basically just personal preference. One note for you, in the column on your left, on the 10th spot, you will see the number, oops, he just went out because we're going into qualifying, so we will let you know this later on, but the number 19 car will show as Ron Schutte in your scoring on the left side of your screen. However, Ron Schutte is driving the number 28 car. The number 19 car is being driven by Ryan Brancho, and I unfortunately cannot change that. That is how the drivers are nicknamed in iRacing, and sometimes they change their name if they're substituting for somebody, and if they forget to change it back, then we have a problem like this. it's all good. We'll figure it out. We'll try to make do with it. And let's take a look here at the qualifying session. As far as I can tell, the drivers have only one lap to qualify, and everything has to be done in 5 minutes. It is individual qualifying. They don't see each other, but we can see whoever we choose to be with. So let's check out one of the favorite drivers here, Mike Perry, currently second in the point standings of the Elite Eight. And he'll be obviously hoping to be starting right up there in the front of the pack. Let's see who else we have. We have Andrew Mraz out there. He won last week and is currently leading the point standings in the Elite Eight. So we're looking for big things from him. The number 28 car, that is actually Ron Schutte. And let's see if we can find the other one. Here you see the number 19 car. And unfortunately, it shows currently on the left bottom of your screen as Ron Schutte in the 28, but that is the number 19 car. We will bring it up a little bit closer. Oh, and to make things even more easier than that, he's running the 16 car. He will be shown as 19 Ron Schutte. That is Ryan Brancho. So we apologize for the confusion, but it is what it is. He's actually put his car on the provisional pole and now being surpassed by several other drivers. We have 12 cars posting lap times currently. Indiana Weiss right up there in the 31 car. Andrew Mraz has overtook that time by 0.02 of a second. You can see on the column there how close it is. The first 5 drivers are within 100th of a second. It's unbelievably quick. And that is when they're running by themselves. And then Marshall Stanley throws that all out the window. He is 13,000 of a second quicker than Dias. Randy Bledsoe now looking to be the quickest guy around. And we still have some guys out there. I believe we have Roger Matthias. Well, he's coming into the pits. Dominic Capolupo in the number 11 car. I believe that's a new name here tonight. So let's see if we can find anybody else out there on the track. It looks like pretty much everybody has got their times in. Andrew Mraz is still running. And that is currently, I believe, the only car on the track. You do not want to do that during the race, obviously, but oh, he's probably trying to practice his donuts as well. All right, we have about a minute left to kill. Let's bring up your race information for tonight's race. The Talladega Superspeedway is 2.65 miles long, one of the longest tracks here in the United States as far as ovals is concerned. It is currently 78 degrees Fahrenheit. We have a relative humidity of 51%. It's partly cloudy, 8-mile-an-hour winds. The track temperature is 93 degrees Fahrenheit, which is pretty normal for a track temperature, I would say. It's not extremely hot, and that's a good thing, I guess, for these guys, because hotter tracks make for slippery conditions. So 2.65 miles time. We're going to do that 55 times tonight. And like I said, the high banking of the superspeedway and the long track here makes for drafting is to be very important. The guys are going to really have to try hard to keep that car clean and not mess up the body work. the bodywork is the streamline is extremely important here. So let's take a look at your grid. It's Randy Bledsoe on the pole position with Marshall Stanley alongside him. On the second row, it's Sean Dias and Andrew Moore Jr. Then it's Andrew Mraz and Indiana Wise on the third row. Good qualifying for Indiana Wise there. Fourth row is for Tommy Ryan and Casey Duncan. The fifth row is for Randy Perdue and Jeff Ryan. The sixth row for Dominique Capalupo and Ron Schutte. Actually, that is not Ron Schutte, that is Ryan Brancho. Then the seventh row is for Guy Schneider and Brian Fallon. The eighth row is for Aaron Gerwich and Jason Branch. The ninth row for Ryan Nicoletta. Jordan Berry, our Canadian friend, is back here tonight. The 10th row is for Roger Matthias and real Ron Schutte in the 28 car. I hope you can keep them apart. The 11th row is for Kevin Nicoletta and Anthony Handley. The 12th row for Kurt Rittenberg and Mike Perry. Mike Perry a bit further back in the field here. That's kind of surprising. The 13th row then for Matt Miller and Dave Dolliver. Then the 13th row, Jeremy Rittenberg and Brian Rainville. Then on the final row, it'll be Josh Gillen and Kenneth McCullough. I believe that Lauren Wise will not be taking part of the race. She is our administrator, and she just runs practice. And we are waiting for some of the drivers still to grid up. I believe the gap there, that would be Jordan Berry. There he is. Paint loading a little slow there. The number 7 car. And then further back we have, that is Jeremy Rittenberg. It looks like Kenneth McCullough is in the pit. And Brian Rainville, haven't seen him yet. And let's see, Josh Gillen, I haven't seen him yet. So of the 30 drivers, we have 28, we have 27 on the grid currently. And we're rolling off, so anybody that hasn't gridded up yet will be either starting from the pits or not start at all. So in the playoffs, this is the second round, and the first race in that second round, the winner tonight will be locking himself into the final at Las Vegas Motor Speedway 2 weeks from today. Next week we'll be at Phoenix. We'll round up the second round of the playoffs there, and we can lock in 2 winners. And the rest of them will be on points, so they need to be on their game and get themselves in the top half of this Elite 8 group to make sure that they make it to the finals and have a shot at the championship. Big field here tonight. Marshall Stanley there in the 44 car alongside Randy Bledsoe. Sean Dias, good qualifying in the 87 car. Andrew Moore in the 77 car. Andrew Mraz in 5th position on the 3rd row there, the black and red car with the 28 on it. And then Indiana Wise in the Bass Pro Tracker Boats car alongside him. Pace car going down the yellow line. We are getting ready to get going here in Talladega. Guys are waiting for the radio call. Very disciplined start here. And you'll be seeing groups in both high and low lanes trying to work together, trying to stay in the draft. There we go. The race is on. Randy Bledsoe ahead. The number 44 of Marshall Stanley to his outside. And you'll see the cars come up to speed. Top speeds are reaching about well over 175, almost 180 miles an hour here. Ooh, and you see changing lanes is going to be a little tricky, especially when the whole pack is still close together. And it looks like that is one of the cars went down below the line. I thought it was Jason Branch, but I don't believe that is correct. And it's up at the front, Marshall Stanley that is coming down to the inside and taking the lead. He's brought Andrew Moore with him in second position. Randy Bledsoe on the outside now in the 81 car. He's got Indiana Wise right there behind him. Sean Dias is, I believe, on the outside there. That is the 87 car. Bledsoe back in fourth position on the outside line there. Marshall Stanley in the lead with Andrew Moore right behind him. The 81 is Bledsoe there up top. The 87 that you see here, the blue car, that is Sean Dias in fourth position. Then it's Indiana Wise on the outside behind the 81. That is Indiana Wise in fourth position now. And as side by side, two big trains. Guys are trying to stay right behind the guy in front of him. Jason Branch in the 18th position, currently looking to be the quickest driver in the race. And actually, Ron Schutte in the 28 has already taken that away from him. As you can see, the entire field is still in two big lanes here, trying to catch that draft. Some of them are going three wide, trying to make something happen on the outside there. That is the number 5, I believe. That is Tommy Ryan. Number 6, I should say. That is Tommy Ryan, and behind him is Casey Duncan in the target car. And it's going to be a huge pack of cars here throughout this race, I can tell you that. And that makes it extremely difficult for these drivers as well, because one little mistake and you could be taking out half the field with you. As you can see, it looks from a distance that the guys are waving a little bit, not able to keep their line straight. But I gotta tell you, at these speeds, the slightest movement of the steering wheel will make it look like that, and they're hanging on for dear life, I can tell you. The track is a little bumpy here and there, and that also makes for cars trying to move away from the line that they're on. So side-by-side racing here, they have to give each other a little bit of a room right beside each other. You can't really race door to door, because any movement from the guy next to you could take you out, and obviously we've seen the big one happening at races like this, where one wrong move of one driver can take out half the field. So far, they're doing very, very well. Randy Bledsoe has picked up the lead again. Marshall Stanley is behind him in the blue car. It's actually Andrew Moraz coming on the outside line now in the 28 car, the red and black car that you see there. And he is being pushed by Casey Duncan. Casey Duncan slowly but surely working his way up already. Oh, and there you see, it's not just two lines, it's 3 lines of cars here. What a pack. Unbelievable. And like I said, they got to be patient now. They can't make too hasty of a moves. They got to be patient. It's early in the race. We're just 6 laps down of 55. Take your time, guys. Ooh, and there you see it. There you see it. There it goes wrong already. That is the 87 car of Cheyenne Des. Ooh, tumbling through the air. And let's go bring back what happened here. Let's slow it down a little bit for you. Maybe a little too early. It's actually the number 3 car that gets into that orange car there. And that takes out the 87. And he comes back up, can't save it. The 93 is that orange car. The 87 flying through the air. coming down right, misses the '08 there, but everybody gets caught up in it, and it's pretty much impossible to tell who is who. But everybody gets caught up in that. The '93, let me see if I can figure out who that was. The 93, I can't find him. Nope, I can't seem to find the 93. Alright, well, back up front. It's still Randy Bledsoe in first position. And let's see who all is diving into the pits. It's Sean Dias that's in the pit. The 11 of Capolupo is in the pits. Roger Matthias, oh, that's why I couldn't find him. Roger Matthias is running the 93 and shown as the 5 in scoring. That's why we can't find them, and it would be so helpful if they would update those numbers. The 4 of Anthony Hanley also got some damage there in that situation. And those are the guys that are in the pits. We also see Andrew Mraz now coming in the pits. I don't believe he was involved at all. He was ahead of it. Casey Duncan in the pits. Tommy Ryan. Jeff Ryan. Ooh, Jeff was definitely involved in it. He was the one coming down on the 93. Ooh, and he has to double park it there. It misses his pit. We also see Jason Branch, Indiana Wise, coming in now. Ooh, looks like Indiana Wise has also sustained some damage there. Jeff Ryan, we saw him already. Let me see. Jordan Berry is in the pit. Looks like that car is still pretty clean. And Ron Schutte. That is the real Ron Schutte. Kurt Rittenberg. Mike Perry already coming back out. Matt Miller. Dave Dolliver. And let's see who else we've got. Jeremy Rittenberg behind there. Brian Rainville in the 60. He did get started there. Anthony Handley back out. Looks like he took a fast repair as far as I can tell. Sean Dias still in the pits. I hope he is aware of the fact that he has that fast repair. Then Roger Matthias still in the pits. The fact that they are taking so long is probably because they hit the escape button on the track and are taking a virtual tow. That means that iRacing holds them there for a while to calculate the time for the tow fairly. So there you see, in a nutshell, the problem of a super speedway like this. It is awesome that we have a big field, but it's also the slightest mistake can mess the entire thing up completely, and that means that it's really anybody's game here tonight. It doesn't really matter if you started up front or in the back. Anything can happen here tonight. 55 laps on a super speedway like Talladega is a long race. Side-by-side racing, any slight mistake can cause situations like we've just seen. All right, let's run through the field here a little bit for you. Marshall Stanley in second, Andrew Moore in third, Kevin Nicoletta in the 41 is in fourth. We see some more drivers going back into the pits. That's Jordan Berry, Brian Fallon, Mike Perry back into the pits, Matt Miller in the 78, Kurt Rittenberg, Jeremy Rittenberg back into the pits, Kenneth McCullough, and David Dolliver back into the pits. And that might be a fuel issue that they are, they should be able to make it to the first stage. 17 to 19 laps is your fuel window. The first stage ends at lap 15. And it looks like we're already starting to line them up again. The lights on the truck are out. Yeah, we're definitely getting ready to go. Some of the guys still need to catch up there. Oh, we're just getting on to the backstretch. They'll make it. It looks like Ron Schutte is still in the pits, or back into the pits, I should say. There, he takes his fast repair. You see how that works. Sean Dias has taken his fast repair. Yeah, he was definitely waiting on that toe there, and he's getting ready. I'm sure he's getting ready to get back out. And meanwhile, the field is approaching turn number 3. There you have it on the right side of your screen, and that means that the guys in the pits will have to get going if they don't want to go down a lap, because these guys are going to get ready to hit the throttle anytime soon. There you see them coming. Huge banking here at Talladega. The pace car is going down.
Green flag, green flag.
There we go. We have a green flag, and it's back racing. Randy Bledsoe and Marshall Stanley up there in the front, with Andrew Moore in the orange car on the inside, Kevin Nicoletta in the white car on the outside. And we have Randy Perdue in the black number 29 on 5th, and Guy Schneider in the blue Golf livery on the outside there. Coming down the backstretch, once again, 2 big lines of cars. It looks like the field is stretching out a little bit after the first 12 to 15 positions. 3 wide now. That is Casey Duncan there up top in the target car behind Andrew Mraz in the number 28, making it 3 wide here. And believe you me, these guys are punching a huge hole in the air there for the guys behind them, so they might still be able to catch back up. Indiana Wise shown in 12th position at the tail end of that group there. Oh, there we have it once again, going wrong. That looks like Guy Schneider, the 28 of Andrew Mraz, the 59 of Ryan Nicoletta, the 44 of Marshall Stanley. Let's go see if we can find out what has been going on. Oh, there you have it. The 44 gets a tap somewhere, and he washes up into the 28, and that's what gets the whole thing going once again. The Golf car you see here, that is Guy Schneider. 4 cars involved, other cars diving to the bottom trying to avoid the mayhem here. The target car hard on the brakes, as you can see there on the outside. Brian Rainsville on the inside on the grass. And it looks like it is limited to these 4 cars, and most of the guys behind them get to avoid what's going on. And it looks like Mraz is getting back on his way again. And that is a tough call for Andrew Mraz. Hopefully he still has that fast repair left, and he will be able to catch back up and try again. But as said, Andrew Mraz is the leader in your playoffs championship standings, and it's just as easy for them to get caught up in this stuff as for anybody. Let's see, we have Ryan Nicoletta has already been in the pits. It looks to me like that car is repaired. He still had his fast repair, it looks like. We see the leaders, well, not the leaders. We see Casey Duncan going into pits, Jason Branch, Matt Miller, Brian Rainville, Kurt Rittenberg, Mike Perry back into the pits. Let's see here. Dave Dolliver, Jeff Ryan, Marshall Stanley is in the pits. Can't keep up with him. Andrew Mraz in the pits. There he is. Let's see how he will fare coming out. See if he still had that faster pair to play with. Yes, he did. He is back in good shape. That's good news for Andrew Mraz. Stanley going back out. Looks like that car has been repaired as well. Same is true for Perry. Rittenberg. Yeah, that looks all right. Dolliver. Jordan Berry. And let's see who else we have. Brian Fallon. That car looks okay. Guy Schneider. Yep, he had his faster pair. And that means that most of them are back out in pretty good shape, and we get to try this one more time. Lap number 13. Remember, lap number 15 will be the end of the first stage. We do not take yellows at the end of the stages. And with everything going on so fast, it's easy to miss who picks up that stage win. I'll be the first to admit that. Randy Bledsoe is in the lead. It'll be Andrew Moore Jr. alongside him on the restart. And Randy Perdue will be on the inside in the third position. And then it'll be Kevin Nicoletta in the 41 there, the white car on the outside. And then it's Aaron Gerwitz in the black and green 57. Then we have Ryan Branshaw in the number 19 car. That is the man we were talking about. That is not Ron Schutte. That is Ryan Branshaw. Indiana Wise in the 7th position. Ron Schutte there in 8th. Kenneth McCullough. Jason Branch in the Navy car. Jason is in the 8th position in the playoff standings, so he needs a good finish. Preferably a win to lock himself into that final. And he started quite far back, so he's doing a pretty good job. He's already gained 8 or 9 positions. Another big winner is Ron Schutte in the 28, the real Ron Schutte. He is in the 8th position. He gained 17. Kevin Nicoletta picked up 17 spots since the start. And the same is true, or Aaron Gerwich has picked up 10. So some of these guys are doing really well. And on the flip side of the coin, it's Marshall Stanley in 12th that lost 10 positions, being part of that second incident there. And let's see, over in the back, we have Roger Matthias a lap down, 2 laps down no less. Capolupo 2 laps down, and Dias 5 laps down. And it looks like there is quite a few guys that have to stay in the inside line, the longest line. Casey Duncan there in the target car, and it looks like now they're moving in a little bit better. '41 car is Ryan Nicoletta, and I'm going to try something different here on this restart. Let's see if we can run along with the number 4 position car on the restart. There we go, we're racing. This is what it looks like when you're in the 4th position in the 41 car. That's Kevin Nicoletta's restart for you. There you have the field. Kevin seems to drop back there just a little bit. Tugs in right behind Aaron Gerwich now. And Indiana Wise is right there behind him. It looks like there's a bit of a gap to Jason Branch leading that second group of cars. That is still doable to catch back up. Those guys in front are punching a pretty good hole in the air. So it's not impossible to catch back up with them. Randy Bledsoe is your leader with Randy Perdue in second in the 29 car. Then it's Gerwitz in the 59. It's Andrew Moore in the 77. Ooh, look at that. 4 wide, 3 wide, 4 wide. It's unbelievable. They can keep it together. It's Andrew Moore now in the lead with Nicoletta at the 4th. Oh!
Yellow flag is out.
Well, part of what you saw there is a glitch of iRacing that sometimes just takes cars completely off the track. Oh, let me see if I can find him quick. The 41 car, where are you? No, I can't see him. Yeah, he's in the pits, but I wanted to see the result of what was happening here. And it looks like his... there we see him. The 41 car is in the middle there. He comes down, and I believe it's Bledsoe that is there where he didn't expect him to be. Let me see if we can catch that back. That may have been Randy Perdue. Yeah, I believe it's Randy Perdue there. Randy is on the inside in the 29 car. The 41 comes down, not aware of the 29 there. iRacing takes the 41 completely out of contention there, throwing him in the air, and then the 29 saves it. It doesn't look like he hits anything, but the grass is just so slippery, he's having trouble keeping it headed in the right direction. But I do believe that's a pretty good save. You know, please don't discard. These guys are doing 180 miles an hour when that stuff happens. So not hitting anything at those kind of speeds is an achievement in itself. All right, let's go take a look. It looks like Andrew Moore is coming into the pits. Can't see him behind all these machinery. Andrew Moore, Indiana Wise into the pits. They don't look like they're damaged. We have Jason Branch once again in the pits. Aaron Gerwitz, Matt Miller, Anthony Handley, Jordan Berry, Mike Perry, Jeff Ryan, and a whole bunch of guys. Pretty much half the field, I would say, or better, is into pits. And that leaves in the lead currently Ryan Brancho, the number 19 car that runs with the 16 car and has a different driver than you see on your screen just to make things easy. But this is Ryan Branshaw in the number 16 car. He is currently your leader, and look who's back in second position. That is Andrew Mraz. Marshall Stanley back up in the third position. Casey Duncan in fourth. Ryan Nicoletta, that is the cousin of the man we saw flying through the air in the 59. He is in fifth. Guy Snyder is in sixth. Indiana Wise is back out there in seventh. The 87 and the what was it? The 61. They're a lap down. There's Andrew Moore coming back out in the 77. Jason Branch is back out. Matt Miller, Gerwitz, Jordan Berry in the 7. He still looks like he's in pretty good shape, and he's worked his way up quite a bit as well. He's gained 6 positions since the start of the race. So Jordan's doing pretty good here. And let's see what we have further back. Matthias is in the pits again. And he had a fast repair after that first shunt. Kevin Nicoletta, Not sure if he still has that faster pair, and he's obviously waiting on the toe for anything to happen there. So hopefully Kevin can get back in. There we have the number 11 of Dominic Capalupo. Back marker. Already 2 laps down. And your leader, Ryan Branshaw, in the 16 car, shown as the 19 with the wrong name, but again, we'll make this work. It looks like he is tempted to opt for the higher side here. The lights on the pace car aren't out yet. And we have another bunch of drivers back into the pits. Jordan Berry back in the pits again. It can't be for repairs. I mean, that car's in good shape. Let's go check on the 41 of Kevin Nicoletta. Yeah, he still had his fast repair. That's good. That's good for him. He's back out running. Let's see. He lost 2 laps on the leaders, unfortunately, but at least he's still in it with a good car. And it looks like we're getting ready to get back in action here on the start of lap number 20. Looks like we have Casey Duncan there in the 3rd position on the 2nd row up high. Marshall Stanley in 4th. And then it's Guy Schneider and that is Randy Bledsoe. Ryan Nicoletta in front of him there. That's the one I was skipping. Andrew Moore in 7th. Randy Bledsoe in, that is the 81. Then Jason Branch in the 22 there in the 9th position. Pace car coming down. And there we go. It's Ron Schutte that hits the gas. He gets to do that, and it looks like he has a pretty good jump there. And that means that the other guys can slot in right behind him, trying to catch his draft. It looks like the field is a little bit stretched out. There you have it, Ron Schutte, Andrew Mraz, Casey Duncan. Then on the bottom, that is Michael Stanley in the 44 car with Andrew Moore behind him, and Guy Schneider, Ryan Nicoletta, Randy Bledsoe is up high there in the red and white car. Then it's Indiana Wise on the bottom in the Bass Pro Trekker car. And then it's Jason Branch in 10th position there. He's being followed by Aaron Gerwitz. There's enough vacuum in the air there that they should be able to catch back up. Branshaw is your leader. Mraz is coming to his inside now, trying to pick up that lead. And it looks like he's got it. Looks like Branshaw is up top there in front of the 44 of Marshall Stanley. And it looks like the guys that are training there on the bottom are just pushing by like they're almost like Branshaw standing still. He lost 5 positions there in half a lap. Indiana Wise up top here. Something tells me that he likes this super speedway stuff. Casey Duncan now in the 2nd position. Andrew Mraz in front of him. Guy Schneider right behind the target car there, and Indiana Wise up top into 31. Wise now taking the lead, pushing ahead of Andrew Mraz. Bledsoe coming along with him there on the higher side. The red and white car there. And Andrew Mraz is not giving up all that easy. He's keeping a very nice and tight line on the bottom there with Casey Duncan helping him. And Guy Schneider in the blue car as well. And up top, it's Indiana Wise now nosing ahead with Bledsoe. And that is Jason Branch. No. That's Ryan Brancho in the white car there. The 16. And then the 44 of Marshall Stanley right behind him on the high side. Ryan Nicoletta on the bottom in 4th position on that bottom line there. There you have him, Dilly it says on the back end of that car. And somebody is washing up a little higher. Let's see who that is. Ooh, that is Bradshaw once again washing up to the higher side. He's now at the tail end of this first group. And it looks like we're picking up some back markers already. Not sure who that is. He's staying high and he's letting people by. That looks like Rainsville. And there you see pretty much the difference between running by yourself with a damaged car probably, and then the guys in a train blasting by like you're standing still. Indiana Wise is now your leader with Andrew Mraz right behind him. Unfortunately, Indiana Wise is not in the Elite 8, so a win would be great for him just because it's a win, but it's not going to help him get back into the Las Vegas Final Four. But something tells me Indiana Wise likes these super speedways. Mraz is now on his higher side, the 28 car. And it looks like we have about, 2, 4, 6, we have about 12, 14 cars here in a lead pack. And let's jump in the car here with Guy Schneider, currently in 4th. On the bottom side behind the Indiana Wise. There you see on the right hand side, that is Mraz. And you can see every slightest movement of the steering wheel makes that car look like it's going from left to right. It's very good. It's right there behind Indiana Wise. Bump drafting on the straightaway here. Another back marker coming up for us. We have another caution. Something has gone bad. Let's go check out what that was. There we have the number 4 car. That is Anthony Handley. He is involved here. Let's bring that back for you. And it's Casey Duncan up front. Oh my gosh. I missed that one. That is Casey Duncan. Let's bring it back for you. Casey Duncan and Ryan Nicoletta, the blue car and the target car. The Dilly car. There you have them. They touch right there. Casey can't keep it off the wall. And then the reaction behind him from several other drivers is to get out of the way, and they sometimes can't keep it straight doing that. And that's what happened to the 4. Maybe we can bring that back for you. See what happened to Handley. Yeah, he just gets pushed out of the way by other people that want to try to avoid the mayhem. The same is true for the 03, that is Kenneth McCullough. Let's take a look at that here. And it's really sad because Kenneth looked like he was on the apron already as it happened. He goes to the apron, tries to stay out of that trouble. Ooh, and then he gets punted in the back. Ooh, that is somebody not paying attention. Unfortunate. Don't get me wrong, there's no blame game here. It is hard to pay attention at these speeds, folks. Don't get me wrong. All right, we have a bunch of guys going back into the pits. Marshall Stanley is one of them. Andrew Mraz and Gerwitz already leaving. Ryan, well, let's see, Jeff Ryan there. Brian Fallon. We see Jordan Berry in the pits. Jason Branch coming back out here. He's doing a pretty steady job there, keeping it in the top 10. That car's not exactly straight anymore. Check on Mike Perry. He's back in the pits. That car looks okay. Lap 27, so we're pretty much halfway. Dolliver back out again. Dias. Ron Schutte, can't find him. There's the 08, the 6, I'm sorry, of Tommy Ryan. Right behind Jeff Ryan. Matthias going back into the pits. Same thing there. That car's not straight anymore. Looks like the back end is worse off than the front end. As far as I can tell, that back end is not exactly straight, but it's not too bad. It will hurt him, though, on a track like this. With speeds like this, it's definitely going to hurt you. Well, back up front, it's still Indiana Wise that has the lead. Like I said, something tells me he likes these super speedways. Guy Schneider now in the second spot in front of Andrew Moore and Ryan Nicoletta there. He has a little bit of damage on that right front. Randy Bledsoe in the 81, Randy Perdue, and then it is Ryan Branshaw in the 16, Marshall Stanley in the 44, the 57 of Aaron Gerwich, and Jason Branch is in 10th. Brian Rainfield going back into the pits. Jordan Berry back into the pits. There you see the pit windows that they have run. Indiana Wise has run a 10-lap stint on the fuel he is on right now. So he still has a good 7 to 9 laps of fuel back in that tank. Schneider might be getting a little closer to an empty tank. He might start wondering maybe or thinking about bringing it in. But of course, yellows breed yellows, and that means that they might be counting on something else to happen. As we see Tommy Ryan coming back out, Jeff Ryan in front of him. Brian Fallon in the 8 car. That car looks okay. So there's no doubt about the fact that yellows breed yellows. So you can take a gamble on your fuel. And let's check on Jason Branch there in 10th position. Little bit of a crumble on the back end there, but hopefully it won't hurt him too much. Then there's Matt Miller. He's in pretty good shape. Matt Miller currently 6th in the playoff standings. There we have Andrew Mraz in 12th position now. Kenneth McCullough in 13th. Handley, the number 4 car. Unfortunately for him, there were no more fast repairs for him. Mike Perry hanging on there in 15th spot. Never count out Mike Perry. He's come from further back. And we're
Green
getting
flag,
ready to
green
go.
flag.
There we go. Indiana Wise and Guy Schneider up there in the front. Andrew Moore in the orange car right behind Indiana Wise there. And it looks like Guy Schneider on that higher side on the restart lucks out a little bit, just like we've seen before. Oh, and that didn't last very long. That is Ryan Nicoletta. That's Rainville that he's collecting there. Let's go see what we can find out. Ooh, it looks like Stanley bumped into Nicoletta and Nicoletta into Branch. And it looks like Nicoletta is getting the worst part of this deal. Let's bring it back a little bit further here. There you have the 44 in the middle line there, but underneath the 59, that is Stanley. He touches the Nicoletti's car, and Nicoletta is just completely gone there. It's hard to save at those kind of speeds. He bumps into the Alpine car there, swings it around into the wall. Then he comes down, collects the 87, collects the 60, and there's nothing he can do about it. He's just a passenger at that point. And obviously he's headed for pit lane. Hopefully they can fix that car back up. Fairly sure he's already used up that quick repair. I hope I'm wrong for his sake. There he is. Yeah, it doesn't look like there's a quick repair left for him. Doesn't look like there's any tire changes either. That's not a good sign. The 87 coming in there. That is Sean Dias. Yeah, that looks like, oh, he's taking tires. Can't see much. Oh, well, Ryan is back out moving. And there we have some more guys coming in. Aaron Garowitz is coming in. Kenneth McCullough. Handley, Barry once again. Rittenberg, Casey Duncan. Don't look like they have damage, but they're just topping it off, I guess. Indiana Wise is still out there. And Indiana pitted last on lap 17. So he should be getting to the end of his fuel run, but yeah. Like I said, you can take a gamble with as many yellows as we've seen here at the Super Speedway. You can take a gamble. Let's bring that strategy up again. He's run 13 laps on the fuel he's got, but there's been a few yellows in there. And obviously track position is important to him. And Andrew Moore behind him has done 13 laps on that fuel stint as well. Bledsoe has done 14. Snyder has done 17. And that makes you wonder why he would stay out. Well, yeah, we're on lap 31. That stage wind could have something to do with it again. We missed that idea last week, and that might be an idea for them guys to stay out. Maybe they'll come back into the pits at the end of this lap. We'll keep an eye on Indiana here. Nope, he's staying out. And even Guy Schneider staying out. Barry back in. Kenneth McCullough back in. Rittenberg, Dolliver. Tommy Ryan, Jeff Ryan behind him. Brian Fallon. Yeah, plenty of takers on pit road. Cheyenne Dess back in. Hopefully, he's probably trying to get some more damage repair. Capalupo. Well, that car is not exactly straight anymore either. And it looks like Indiana Wise is also going to try that higher side. And we might actually be going single file here because the yellows followed each other fairly quickly. We're on lap 32. We'll be going into lap 33 when we get back going again. Check on Casey Duncan. He's still running, 13th position. Jordan Berry back out there in 16th. Mraz in 10th. And everybody going in line as they should. Pace car going down. Let's say what you want, but that is a pretty picture. Beautiful speedway. Huge crowds at Talladega.
Green, green, green.
There we go. We're green again. Indiana Wise has got the lead in front of Andrew Moore and Randy Bledsoe. And they're already looking for that draft. Bledsoe going to the outside with Schneider behind him. And on the inside behind Moore, that is Ryan Bradshaw in the 16 car. Looking to form two lanes already. It looks like the back end there. Casey Duncan hanging on to the back end, and then it's Gurwitz that has a bit of a gap in front of him now. That'll be a little bit tougher to overcome. Indiana Wise is hanging on to that lead with Moore right behind him. Ryan Bradshaw is in third. Randy Bledsoe in fourth. Purdue in fifth. Guy Schneider, then Marshall Stanley in the blue car with Andrew Mraz already up in eighth. Jason Branch in ninth. Matt Miller in the blue and white car. On the high side there, it's Kurt Rittenberg in the 00. Oh,
The yellow flag is out.
oh. What has happened here? That was Moore. He was running in second position. Ooh, it looks like Ryan Bradshaw touches the 77. And if I saw it correctly, the 29, that is a separate incident. Where are you? Let's bring this back. The 29, that is a separate incident because he hits the brakes fairly hard, and Schneider behind him didn't see that and tapped him in the back. And we see Jason Branch there also in trouble. Ooh, smoking engines, my friends. That is a bad sign. Oh, that is so sad, so sad. These guys were looking for good finishes here in the Elite Eight, trying to make their way to the final, and there we see their races being shattered. That is so unfortunate. There you have Jason Branch limping to the pits. That is very bad, very bad. Let's check on Andrew Moore. He's took a toad to the pit. He's already smoking there. Miraz was involved as well, it looks like. He's in the pits. Looks like they took toes. Indiana Wise now coming into the pits. That makes sense. He was getting close on fuel. Randy Bledsoe behind him. Ryan Branshaw behind him in the 16 car. Guy Schneider coming into the pits. Stanley. Stanley still looks fairly unscathed. Got a little bit side damage on the right rear there. And let's go check on Casey Duncan. He looks okay. Let's see here. Gurwitz. That looks pretty good. Oh, scoring is having a hard time keeping up here. Jason Branch, he is getting tires. Hopefully they can fix that engine for him. Did he still have his fast repair? It sure looks like it. That is good news for Jason Branch. That is good news for Jason Branch. He looks like he's unscathed now. He must have taken that fast repair. That's a relief. Well, we have Jeff Ryan in the lead here. And then it's Brian Fallon in second place. David Dolliver in third. Indiana Weisbeck out in fourth. Good job. Kenneth McCullough Jr. there in the 03. He's in fifth. Marshall Stanley in the 44 is in sixth. Randy Bledsoe seventh. Casey Duncan eighth. Matt Miller ninth. 10th is Mike Perry. You never count out Mike Perry. He's back up in the top 10 now. Kurt Rittenberg in the 00. Anthony Handley. Aaron Gurwitz. Jeremy Rittenberg. Tommy Ryan. Jason Branch. Jordan Berry still running there in 17th position. Yeah, he's still looking okay. Andrew Moore. Ooh, looks like Andrew still had his fast repair as well. That car looks in good shape. And then Ryan Branshaw. I don't believe he's totally repaired. Nope. Ryan Nicoletta coming back out in a crippled car. Guy Schneider didn't have a fast repair either. Randy Perdue. Not too much movement there. Matthias. Car looks okay. Kevin Nicoletta. There he is. He's a lap down. 2, actually. Andrew Mraz. Looks like Andrew has given up for the night. Well, he's been in plenty of trouble. You can't blame him. Starting to become a hopeless situation for him. Oh, there we go. The cars are lining back up. Indiana Wise there, eager to get his nose underneath Jeff. Jeff's number 3 car there. Lap 37. This is still anybody's game here. Dominic Copolupo coming back out of the pits, trying to catch up to the field. Well, Casey Duncan's in 7th there. That's good. I will say they're very disciplined here on the start. Good job.
Green flag. Green
There
flag.
we go. Jeff Ryan waited for the radio call. They're back on the throttle. It's Brian Fallon on the outside with the 03 of Kenneth McCullough behind him. Indiana Wise is in 3rd position there, right behind Jeff Ryan. Ooh, look like we're going 3 wide already. The number 3 washing up. Indiana Wise takes the lead. And it is looks like Indiana Wise is nosing ahead, but the 03 of Kenneth McCullough is on his outside there. And Jeff Ryan is, I don't know what happened to Jeff, but he's way back here in 17th position. Maybe that car has got some damage and he just can't keep it up. I don't know. Meanwhile, it's Kenneth McCullough that is nosing ahead in front of Randy Bledsoe and Indiana Wise. Casey Duncan in 4th position on the outside. Marshall Stanley into 44 is back up there. Then it's Matt Miller behind him, Kurt Rittenberg, Mike Perry, Jason Branch. Jason in the 7th position now there, up top in the Navy car. And Randy Bledsoe trying to go to the outside. He's got the help of Indiana Wise pushing him. And they're leaving Kenneth McCullough where he is on the inside. Marshall Stanley also taken to the outside now. He's got Casey Duncan behind him. Casey going to the high side, making it 3 wide. And Casey's got the help of Jason Branch there, Ryan Bradshaw. Moore is still there in the orange car. He now comes to the inside line there. He's on the inside of the 44. Three lines of cars there. Unbelievable. Indiana Wise right behind Bledsoe there in 2nd position. Bledsoe and Wise are not part of the Elite 8. Matt Miller in 3rd position. He is part of the Elite 8. He's currently in the 6th position. Kenneth McCullough in the 03 coming back at him again with the help of Marshall Stanley behind him. The red and black car you see on the bottom there in the 4th spot is the 00 of Kurt Rittenberg. Andrew Moore Jr. in the orange car on the outside, Mike Perry on the inside in the STP car, right behind Rittenberg. It looks like Bledsoe is hanging on to that lead in front of Indiana Wise. Looks like they're trying to work together. They have Miller behind them. And it looks like we have Jordan Berry here at the tail end of this lead group. He's hanging on. And then behind Barry, it's Brian Fallon has actually fallen back quite a bit. He and the number 3 of Jeff Ryan have dropped back to that second group. Meanwhile, up front, it's Kenneth McCullough that has taken the lead on the high side. Ooh, the back markers are going down on the apron to avoid more trouble. Bledsoe in second place behind McCullough. Indiana Wise is in third there. Matt Miller in fourth in the 78, and on the high side you see the 44. That's Marshall Stanley. Indiana Wise coming high now. Open to get the help from the 00, but the 00 is not slotting in behind him. Matt Miller on the lower side of Indiana Wise now. He needs to find a buddy, and it might be the 44 coming up behind him. And in the distance, you see another back marker coming up. That looks like David Dolliver. And once again, we're in 3 lanes here. Indiana Wise has kind of been caught out on that middle lane. Doesn't have somebody to play with. The 44 of Marshall Stanley is behind him now. That's right along there. That is Indiana Wise right in front of us there. And at 180 miles an hour, folks, it is scary. This is narrow, I can tell you. The slightest movement of the wheel can send your car a lane to the left, a lane to the right. The 44 is helping Indiana Wise. There you see them coming. Kenneth McCullough is hanging on to that lead. Ryan Bledsoe behind him. Indiana Wise pushed back up into fourth. Third now with Matt Miller on his inside. Bledsoe now coming to the outside, and it looks like Indiana Wise is helping Bledsoe. He's pushing Randy Bledsoe to the lead. The 03 drops back to third position. Now they slot to the inside there. Good move. The 44 and the 29 trying to work together on that middle lane. Kenneth McCullough takes to that middle lane. It's Bledsoe and Indiana Wise on the inside working together. Kenneth McCullough in third on the higher side, on the middle lane. He's got the 44 of Stanley behind him. It looks like they're figuring this stuff out here. Randy Bledsoe hanging on to that lead with the help of Indiana Wise. Matt Miller right behind him, Andrew Moore behind him, and on the higher line, it is Kenneth McCullough and Marshall Stanley, and they're being followed by the 29. And Casey Duncan's still in it there as well. In 8th position, he's on the high side. Look at that, the red target car. Kind of by himself on that third lane. And Indiana Wise now going to the outside of Bledsoe, and it looks like he's nosing ahead. We're going to get started on lap 48. Indiana Wise picks up the lead. Kenneth McCullough is behind him, pushing him. The 44 of Stanley is now behind the 03. It is close, folks. It is really close. Bledsoe now nosing ahead again. Indiana Wise on the higher side. Matt Miller is behind Bledsoe. And Kenneth McCullough is behind Indiana Wise. Moore is on the bottom side helping Miller. The 44 of Stanley is on the higher side. Ooh! A touch between Indiana Wise and Bledsoe leaves Bledsoe hanging on the apron, dropping back to the tail end of the group here. And Indiana Wise goes away with it. Beautiful save by Bledsoe, that is for sure. But that's how much you lose when something like that happens. He is now in 15th position, losing the touch with that group here. And that is really unfortunate. Ahead of him, it's Jordan Berry, who is also hanging on for dear life and probably not close enough to have much advantage of the draft, although that big group of cars is punching a huge hole in the air. And meanwhile, up front, it's on the higher side. It's Andrew Moore that's gotten ahead of Indiana Wise. Kenneth McCullough is still in it on the higher side with Stanley behind him. On the bottom line, it is Moore, Wise, and Miller. Jason Branch in 7th position. He's on that bottom line there. We pretty much have 13 cars here still in it. And Bledsoe is losing out. He's now 6, almost 7 seconds behind that group, and he's going to get reeled in by that second group. Very unfortunate for him. Lap 51, 5 laps to go. Andrew Moore, Kenneth McCullough are in front there. Moore on the bottom. McCullough is in on the higher side. Indiana Wise in the 31 car is pushing Moore. Miller is also behind Indiana Wise there. And the number 4 of Anthony Handley. And on the higher side, it's McCullough and Stanley and Mike Perry is on that bottom line there in he's in 8th position, but he's in the 5th spot on that bottom line. Ooh, and it looks like Kenneth McCullough is coming on. Ooh, there it goes wrong for Mike Perry. What is going on? He's still running. Let's see what happens here. Ooh, it's actually 2 separate incidents. It looks like Casey Duncan and the 57. Casey Duncan and Rittenberg. Actually, it's Casey Duncan coming down on the 57. The 57 is, let me check. That's Aaron Gerwitz. He came down on Aaron Gerwitz, and they took Rittenberg with him in the 00, Kurt Rittenberg. Casey's still running. Aaron Gerwitz has taken it to the pits. And all lap 53, it is Kenneth McCullough Jr. that has the lead in front of Andrew Moore, Marshall Stanley, and Indiana Wise. And it's going to be a shootout here. A green-white checkered to settle this thing. McCullough is not in the Elite 8, so his win wouldn't lock him into anything. He's going into the pits. Moore, Stanley, Wise, Miller. Hadley looks like he's staying out. Yep. Jordan Berry looks like he's staying out. Well, we just have a few more laps to go. Let's look at his fuel window there. He is on his 17th lap. He's taking a chance, probably. It looks to me like he's taking a chance. And probably with good reason, because he's up into second position now. Kenneth McCullough in third, Andrew Moore in fourth, and they're back out from the pits. Marshall Stanley, Indiana Wise, Jason Branch, Matt Miller, Jeremy Rittenberg, Ryan Branshaw in the 16. All been in the pit. Mike Perry, Kurt Rittenberg is back out. Well, it looked like he still had that faster pair, or it didn't sustain any damage. Casey Duncan's back out, not entirely free of redesign, but he's hanging on. Randy Bledsoe, that's good news for him as well. Oh, Randy is out. Not good news for him at all. And Gerwitz must have been waiting on a tow. The car looks like he could still go, but we don't see any movement here just yet. Anthony Handley is your leader with a slightly redesigned rear end. And we can check on, he pitted on lap 35 last, Jordan Berry on lap 36. So it's close, it's going to be close for them, but we've had plenty of yellows, so they might just be taking a gamble here. And I wouldn't blame them if they did. That is probably a pretty cool idea, to stay out and see if they can make it work. Randy Perdue there is in the 29. He's a lap down. He'll be waved around the pace car fairly shortly. So yeah, Handley and Berry, they've chosen track position, and they're going to risk running out of fuel, obviously, but it's a risk worth taking. With the yellows that we've seen, they may just make it 17 to 19 laps on a fuel load. It's doable. But we can't take a look in their tank, so we'll have to wait and see. And there you see the field lining them back up again. It'll be a green-white checkered. Handley is not in the Elite 8. Neither is Jordan Berry. Andrew Moore, who is in third, he is in the Elite 8. Kenneth McCullough is not. Indiana Wise is not. Marshall Stanley is. Matt Miller is. Jason Branch is. And Ryan Branshaw is not. So we have a few guys that could steal the win here to lock themselves into the final at Las Vegas, but they are among others that are not in the Elite 8, and that means that if nobody that's in the Elite 8 would be able to score a win, then the whole thing will be settled on points. Well, folks, a shootout to the finish. 2 laps to go when we go racing. Handley and Berry, obviously they're on older tires as well. They're lighter on fuel. Can they make it? It's still anybody's race.
Green, green, green.
There we go. We're racing once again. Anthony Handley, Jordan Berry leading the pack here. Berry having a little bit of trouble getting going as fast as Handley, but he's keeping up fairly good. Handley is being pushed by the 77 of Andrew Moore. Stanley right behind him on the bottom. The 03 of McCullough right behind Jordan Berry. Yeah, they're looking to get pushed here. A back marker on the apron there. 3 wide. Jordan Berry has taken the lead. He's got Handley behind him. Ooh, where's Jordan Berry? Connection issue. There it goes wrong for the 00. That is Kurt Rittenberg. He got in trouble there. Let's go check what happened to him. On the high side, being touched around by, that is the yellow car of... Oh, I can't find him. So that's Brian Fallon. Brian Fallon. We can take a look at it again there. The yellow car is Brian Fallon. The 00 is in front of him, staying on the high side. And as he tries to come down, Fallon has already come and put that nose alongside his rear end and turns him around. Ooh, bad news for Andrew Moore. What happened to him? Let's go and find out. So Andrew Moore is also getting in trouble in a separate incident. Ooh, can't really tell what caused Indiana Wise to turn into him, but somebody must have hit Indiana Wise turning into the Moore. And Moore noses it into the wall, and that car is smoking. That's not a good sign. Let's go and see if we can see what happens from Indiana's perspective. Keep an eye on the 31 car. I don't know if it was Moore himself or if it was Indiana, but could have been netcode as well. That was weird. It looks like Indiana is rolling. It seems to be that he is not in big trouble. Moore is in the pit. And yeah, that's not a good sign. Cars that are smoking are never a good sign. Rittenberg and Gerwitz. Doesn't look like there's much happening there. So we're going to try another green, white, checkered once we get going. It is Kenneth McCullough in first position. Handley is in second. And Jason, where did Jordan go? Jordan Berry, where did you go? Jordan Berry took a pit stop. He was not sure about whether he could make it on fuel. And Anthony Handley was the other guy that tried to stay it out there. And he is still out there, and he did not pit. All right, folks, I'm not sure if you can hear me. I believe you can, but we've had a power interruption here that is pretty much threw me out of iRacing and the broadcast. We're trying to restore everything. I am very sorry about this. I believe it looks like I'm missing the finish here, and I'm trying to see if I can get iRacing back up again. So bear with me here, and hopefully we can at least talk to the guys. Well, folks, unfortunately, I cannot get back into iRacing because the session has obviously already ended, and I'm trying to get into. Things are not working here. I'm trying to get into Discord so I could at least talk to the guys, but it looks like that's not really working either. There, at least it's trying to start up. Hey, Scott, this is Mark. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Man, I'm so sorry. I had a power interruption here, and I lost the race, and I lost the finish right before the second green flag, white checkered. So I don't even know who won, dude.
Kenneth McCullough Jr. Wound up taking the checkered flag and a massive mess right at the end, coming to the white flag. It was a crazy finish.
Yeah, oh man, I'm so sorry, man. We've got some thunderstorms around Reno here, and I just had a blink of an interruption here, and my other PC stayed on, and this one restarted because of it. So I'm really sorry about that, man.
Oh, it's all good. I understand stuff happens.
Yeah, so I mean, I am back live on the air right now. I just don't have any pictures of iRacing, obviously. So you want me to try and see if I can find him for an interview?
Well, Kenneth isn't actually in the Discord, so he wouldn't be able to. But Mike Perry and Jason Branch are the other two podium finishers, and they're available, I think.
Yeah, okay, let's move him up here then. Mike, this is Mark in the booth. Can you hear me? Mike, this is Mark in the booth. Can you hear me? No, he may have already left. Who was the other podium finisher you said?
Branch.
Jason, this is Mark in the booth. Can you hear me? Oh,
Hey, Jason, you got a copy?
Yeah, I'm here, Mark. How you doing?
well, I'm thinking you're doing better than me because I missed the finish because of a power interruption here, and I'm trying to get stuff back to work again. Obviously, the iRacing is already finished, so I don't have any pictures of anything. You're the only one I can get a hold of here. Tell me about the finish, man, because I didn't see it.
I mean, it was a typical green-white checkered. We started out, had to start single file. So once we started single file, everyone kind of jumped down to that bottom lane. Well, I stayed up in the second lane with Scott, and I was trying to push Scott to the win. And we were coming around to the white flag, and a guy kind of went in the middle. I mean, I know it's green-white checker, but I don't think there was a lane there. And I pushed Scott. I was trying to push Scott to the win, and they got together and spun out. And I luckily was on the outside and just happened to finish third. I don't know what happened behind me after that. It was just kind of a racing deal. I've already apologized to Scott. Hope he doesn't hold it against me. But I was really trying to push him to the win. I wasn't. I knew I wasn't going to win, but I was hoping he could.
I see, man. I see. Well, it looked like we had several incidents there in the final part of the race where it's just going three wide. I mean, it can be done, but any slight movement can get you into somebody else, and it just takes as soon as you go, you take others with you. There's just no stopping that. So I understand what happened. Unfortunately, like I said, man, I didn't see it. My electricity just blinked here for a brief second, and my other PC stayed on. This one went out. I had to restart everything again. So at least you scored good for the Elite Eight points standings there. I think, Jason.
Yeah, I didn't have a very good week last week. Just kind of trying to hang on last week. I got both stages. I got some points, and I got third place here. So I think going into it, I was sixth, but I wasn't too far out of fourth. So we'll see where all the points come out going into this last race in round two to see where we go to the final four. I think I should be pretty good going into the final four.
Yeah, I think there's more people that were higher up in the standings than you that also had a bad day today, like Andrew Mraz. I believe he went out. Mike Perry, I don't think. Well, he's in the top. He's the second, right?
Yeah, Mike Perry finished right in front of me.
Okay, and then Andrew Moore, I believe he went. He was in trouble the caution before this last one, and I'm not sure about Marshall Stanley. He looked like he was up there still.
Marshall got sixth.
Well, there you go. That's still pretty good, pretty good scoring position for him. So, what about Casey Duncan? Where did he end up?
Casey ended up 8th, so he wasn't too bad. I know he was 2 spots ahead of me, so we should be pretty close in points now.
Okay, okay, all right. Well, and then you have Matt Miller. I know he was running in that top group there.
He finished 7th.
Okay, so yeah, you guys, Casey and you and Matt should be closing in on each other then.
Yeah, it's going to be really tight going into Phoenix, and it's a short track where these two really were crapshoot races here, Talladega and then Phoenix. I mean, they're not making it easy on us trying to get to that Final Four.
Absolutely not. I mean, Talladega, races like this is just anybody's race, really. I mean, we saw from the beginning on, as soon as something happens, it doesn't matter where you are. If you're at the wrong place at the wrong time, you're done.
Yeah, absolutely. I got some damage in the first caution, the very first caution of the race, and I fixed it. I had a minute and a half of damage, so I let him beat it out. Rode around, got caught up in another caution, so I used my quick repair with 20 to go, and I just prayed to God I didn't get in another one, and it worked out. Again, I didn't mean to spin Scott. I wish I could have pushed him to the win, but that's Talladega, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Well, thanks for talking to me anyway, guys. Once again, I apologize for the fact that I wasn't there for the finish, but what can you do? Power is power, and if they shut it down because of lightning for just an instant of a second, then you're done dealing with it. So. Congratulations on a good finish, Jason. I hope to see you in Phoenix and maybe even go for that win there.
Yeah, I hope. I hope. I mean, I've been close a couple times. I never do qualify very good, but it seems like I'm always there at the end, and we'll see what we can do in Phoenix.
As far as what I've seen from you in the time that I've been with you guys, you're right. You're always somewhere in the middle or a little bit further back in qualifying, but you're always very consistent.
Yeah, I mean, the new point standings from when they started this new point standings kind of makes it a little more difficult to start in the back because you won't get stage points. But I think if we would have still been in the old NASCAR scoring, I would have been close to the front.
Okay, well, yeah, it is what it is, and it's the same for everybody. So try to work on your qualifying, I would say.
Yeah, I guess. Well, I got stage points both stages this time, so it was a pretty good night.
Good deal, good deal. Congratulations, Jason, and thanks again, man. And Scott, thank you as well for talking to me, man. And hopefully this is not happening again anytime soon. We'll see you next time in Phoenix, guys.
Uh, Mark, I think Mike's in here if you want to talk to him.
Mike, can you hear me? I called him out a couple times, but he's not answering.
Maybe he stepped away. I just saw him in the in the in
Mark,
the room.
Yeah, yeah, I pulled him in there and I called him out a couple times, but he's not responding.
There he
So,
is.
are you there, Mike?
Mark, I hear you, man.
All right, cool, man. Like I told the others, I'm terribly sorry. I had a power interruption and I missed the finish. Jason Branch told me a little bit about what happened. It turns out you got a second place out of this thing. That's pretty good considering how it all went today.
It was hectic for sure. I'm glad it's.
Absolutely. Yeah. Go ahead.
I'll just say that I'm just glad it's over. It was hectic for sure.
Yeah, it appeared to me that you were, you were in the middle of the pack there for a long time, and just slowly and steadily worked your way up. You've been in the pits quite a bit. You were involved in a few of the incidents, I believe, and but you kept it together, and ultimately you're there.
Yeah, pretty lucky. I mean, our teammates, Matt, David, Kurt, Jeremy, we all had a we all had a plan to just kind of hang out in the back for as long as we could, and we got through a couple big wrecks, and I was caught up in one. So just glad we finished.
It's not easy this super speedway stuff, is it?
It's not, but it's fun.
Yeah, absolutely. It's fun to watch, that's for sure.
It's fun. Like I said, I'm glad we got a good finish, and I look forward to next week. I believe we're going to Phoenix, so shall be interesting.
That is correct. We are going to Phoenix, Mike. We hope to see you there. Guys, once again, I apologize for not being able to finish the broadcast in the normal way, but it is what it is. Thank you for explaining everything to me, what happened there, and we'll talk to you all again in Phoenix, hopefully next week. We'll do better.
Mark, you do a good job, man. So we'll see you next week, Phoenix. Thanks, man.
All right, take care, guys. All right, folks, that'll be it for tonight. Once again, power interruption. Couldn't do much about it. Had to restart everything again. At least we got to talk to the guys, and you heard a little bit about what transpired there at the finish. The second green white checkered settled this thing. So next week we're going to go to Phoenix. That'll be the final round before we go to the final in Las Vegas. So next week in Phoenix we will know the 4 guys that will be the ones fighting for the championship at the Las Vegas finish of the season. So we hope to see you there. Hopefully Mother Nature will not interrupt our power anytime soon again. And we apologize for the inconvenience, and we hope you still enjoyed what we had there. And we'll see you next week in Phoenix. For Short Shift Broadcasting, my name is Mark. Thank you so much for tuning in and bearing with us.